Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Dear Reverend brothers and sisters, welcome to my channel to Education, Research and Entertainment. Welcome back to another important episode, and today I am going to discuss the character of the Duchess of Malfi by pointing out her special qualities with text reference. And you know very well that the Duchess of Malfi, written by John Webster, is a revenge tragedy. And better to say, it is the first time a woman character becomes the title and the central figure of a tragedy. So let's get started. Introduction. The character of the Duchess. The character of the Duchess of Malfi is the greatest single contribution of John Webster to English tragedy. She is a revolutionary character of Webster. It was the first time a woman character becomes the title and the central figure of a tragedy. She is a challenge to the man-dominated medieval royal society. She is at the same time fine and complex character. She is young and beautiful, but has unfortunately become a widow in the prime of life. It's a miracle of creative art that Webster makes the Duchess almost passive and yet manages to produce a powerful impact of her personality and strength of her character on the readers. At the end, she arouses pity and fear on us and becomes a great tragic character. First of all, her charming personality. She has a charming and fascinating personality. All who look at her are charmed by her beauty. She is noble, innocent, and gentle. In the very beginning of the play, we find Antonio praising her eloquently. In his opinion, Duchess is the right noble Duchess. But for their sister, the right noble Duchess, you never fixed your eye on three fair maidens, cast in one figure of so different temper, line from 193 to 195. Secondly, her dignity and grace. The two most outstanding qualities of the Duchess are her dignity and grace. She reveals her dignity when Bozola tries to demoralize her by acquainting her with the horrors of death and showing her the preparation which have already been made for her funeral. She displays true womanliness when she shows concern for her children in her hour of death. We are fascinated with her simple grace and charm when she goes on prattling, but her listener is not her fond lover, but her bloodthirsty brothers. In the confrontation with the brothers, she shows great determination of character. The charming humanity displayed in the weighing scene shows the nobility of the Duchess. Her remarks to Antonio: "This is flesh and blood, sir. It is not the figure cut in alabaster, nails at my husband's tomb." Line from 446 to 448. Thirdly, heroic endurance and strength of her character. The Duchess displays a heroic fortitude in her calm manner in which she faces the tortures which are inflicted upon her. It is her fortitude which makes her accept the voluntary parting from her lover and her children. The words in which she bids farewell to them are intensely moving and touching. "Farewell, boy. Thou art happy that thou hast not understanding. In the eternal stars, sir, I do hope we shall not part thus." The horrors brought to her side and the agony inflicted on her only brings out her true strength of character. The sight of the madmen and their singing only make her all the more sage. Her strength of spirit comes out in her defiant words. "I am Duchess of Malfi still." She makes her executioner feel very small when she stays his hand for a moment to kneel in prayer, saying that the gates of heaven are low. Thirdly, her courage and resourcefulness. In her innocence, purity, and pathetic death, she is often likened to Shakespeare's Desdemona, but she is a lady of great courage and resourcefulness. In the very beginning of the play, Duke Ferdinand warns her against a remarriage, but as soon as her brothers have departed, she proceeds to marry Antonio. Then again her resourcefulness and capacity for taking quick decisions are flourished through her excellent character. Soon after the visit of Ferdinand to her apartment, she is apprehensive regarding the safety of her husband and her son, and therefore at once she decides that they should leave her and go to Arcona. In another case, she, with her ready intelligence, understands that the letter Bozola has brought from her brothers is a merry trap. These all are examples of her courage and intelligence. Fifthly, her boldness. So, dear reverend brothers and sisters, fifthly, her boldness. The most striking characteristics of Duchess is her abrupt directness and straightforwardness. She wants to live according to her own wish. To her eyes, all men are equal. She does not know how to discriminate high and low. Being a lady of a high society, she wants to marry Antonio, the servant of their court. She disobeys and ignores the command of her brothers and, according to her own choice, marry Antonio, whom she loves from the core of her heart. She says, "It all my royal kindred lay in my way into this marriage. I would make them by low footsteps." As a woman, she thinks that a man and a woman should have the equal rights in taking decision. The boldest expression from her, the boldest expression comes from her. I hope in time they will grow into a custom that noblemen shall come with calf and to purchase a nice lodging of their wives. And finally, Duchess, a woman of free thought. That means Duchess is a free will agent. Duchess, and finally Duchess, a woman of free thought. Although at last she is a religious person, as we see before in the death scene, but she is not dogmatic. Her attitude to religion is that of a pragmatist and rationalist. She marries Antonio privately. There is not any religious ritual. She thinks that they are united spiritually and that is enough. She considers a such ceremony would not be able to lend more force to this marriage. Duchess says, "What can the church force more further? What can the church force more further? How can the church build further?" In defense to the violent abuse of Ferdinand, Duchess firmly says, "Why might not I marry? I have not gone about in this to create custom. Why should only I, of all other princes of the world, be cast off like a holy relic? I have youth and a little beauty." Act 3, Scene 2. And finally, and conclusion, and conclusion, conclusion, actually, John Webster, through the character of the Duchess of Malfi, throws a challenge to the man-dominated royal society and to the tsars, full of corruption and hypocrisy. So that's all for today. Thank you very much for your cooperation and coordination.